Hello everyone, I'm Amod and welcome to my YouTube channel. In the last video tutorials, I have already covered handling upload action using Playwright. I explained to upload single file, multiple files and a directory. Also I covered to create text file, CSV file and JSON file on the fly with dynamic data and upload without saving them locally. Now the another important topic is handling download action using Playwright. Let me show you the scenario which I am going to use for this video. So here I have website file.io. It is the same website which I used for upload scenario in my previous videos. So once we upload any file, let me upload a file here. Once upload is completed, it gives you a link which you can share with anyone else. So let me click on this share button and I will copy this link. This link, if I open into a new tab, then it gives an option to download. I need to click on this download icon so that my file will be downloaded. And if you click on this downloaded file, you can see the image which was uploaded. So basically this is the end-to-end scenario and here I'm just considering on the download part. So now the question is how can we handle this download action using Playwright? So let's start with basics. So whenever we perform any action on a web page like typing, clicking, mouse events, key up, key down, etc., browser will send a signal or we can call that signal as events. That events are triggered to indicate that something has been changed in the browser window or DOM. For example, if you're trying to register on a website and as soon as you start typing password, some checks will be carried out. Like if you have entered a uppercase letter or a number. So basically, as soon as you start typing, events will be triggered. Similarly, when we click on this download link, an event will be triggered, which is download. And Playwright uses the same event to handle download action. And this is the advantage here that for any browser, the same logic of Playwright will work. But if you consider any other web automation framework like Selenium WebDriver, the download logic will change based on your browser. And also it is not consistent with every version of browser. You must have experienced that. But those are not problems with Playwright. So let's get started. So I'm directly going to load this URL in browser using Playwright. So I've already created the basic test and here I'm going to use await page.go and pass the URL. And I'm going to locate this download button. So if you scroll up, we have button and here we can use get by role locator because we have name here and role is button. So I'm going to use await page dot get by role. Role is button and name is download and I need to perform click. But before clicking on this download button, I need to simply write that you need to wait for an event called download. Or basically you can say that I'm trying to set up a listener which will listen. So to add listener, we need to use page dot wait for event and the event name is download. This is predefined and this is going to return me a promise which I can store into a variable of type const and I can give download promise. Please note I am not using await here because here just I am adding the listener. When I click next, then download event will be triggered. Now basically I need to wait for that download event and return that. So now you can use await and you can call this promise. And once it is resolved, I'm going to in a variable maybe download. So again, here I'm just setting the listener, then performing click which will generate the download event. And now I'm saying that once you get the download event, resolve the promise and return me. Now using this download object, we can perform some actions. So here what I'm going to do, if you to download dot, we have one method suggested file name, which will basically give you the name of the file which is being downloaded. So let me call this method and I can store into a variable, maybe file name, and I'm going to log it. So if you see the browser, so here if you see the file name is this much big name. So I'm expecting this variable should return me this name. So I'm going to run this program now and let's see what happens. So it's done. Let's go to browser and it's giving error. And it's saying that strict mode violation. And if you scroll up, so it seems that this locator has founded two web elements. So here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use nth and I can add 0. Or you can try to use some unique locator as well. Let me rerun it. Let's go to VS Code and here you can see the file name has been returned. But this is only half done. So now it waited for download event and it returned the promise. And using that promise object, I can get the file name and also other things we can call. But actually, the file will be downloaded into some temporary folder, and from that temporary folder, we need to copy into our system. And for that, we need to use save as method, which is also coming from this download object. So if you do download, then we have a method save as. So where to save it? You can save it anywhere, but within my project directory, I have created a folder download and I want to store the file here. So let me copy this full path and I'll paste it here. And obviously I need to escape this. So let me add one more slash. So I'm saying that let's save this file to this location and let me give the name also to the file. So I'm going to use the same name whatever file has. For that I can use this file name. So within the download folder, file will be stored. And here I need to use await. Now I'm going to run this test again. So let's run it. So it's being downloaded, and if you go to VS Code, within the download folder, we can see the file which was uploaded. So this I performed in Chrome. Let me perform the same thing in Firefox. So I'll go to playwright config file, and here I'm going to uncomment Firefox and I will comment Chromium. And let me rerun this program. And I will delete this file from this download folder and let's rerun this program. So this time it should run in Firefox browser, which you can see it's running. Let's go to VS Code and here you can see file is copied. So the same code is working perfectly fine in both the browsers. But here we have some important points to know. So here what I'm going to do, I will just comment this step. That means I am not going to click on download button and it will not generate any download event. Then how long this will wait for this event? So I will run this and then we'll see. So browser is launched and let's go to VS Code. So we can see error and it says wait for event has given timeout error. Timeout 500 millisecond exceeded while waiting for event download. Obviously, we did not click on the download button, so there will be no download event. Since we have configured extend timeout as 5 second in my playwright config. That's why it took only 5 seconds and timed out. You can increase it as well if you want, like it should wait for minimum 10 seconds. So you can pass an object here, pass the timeout key and pass 10 seconds. So if you run this program now, it will wait for 10 seconds now before giving timeout error. Let me quickly run and show you. So let's go to VS Code. You can see it is still waiting and it got timed out. And if you see here, it's saying that timeout after 10 seconds. So when the file is being downloaded, it is possible that it may take a lot of time. So how you can instruct Playwright to wait for it? So by default, this save as method waits for file to be downloaded completely. If you read about this method here, it says it is safe to call this method while the download is still in progress. We will wait for the download to finish if necessary. But this is half true. This save as method will wait till script timeout, which is by default 30 seconds. If the download is taking more than 30 seconds, then this save as will also give you timeout error. Let me show you that. So here I have another link where I have uploaded a file of size 188 MB, and to download this file it takes more than 30 seconds. So now I'm going to copy this URL and paste in VS Code, and now I'm going to run it. So downloading must be in progress, and if you go to VS Code, you can see here it is waiting. Let's wait. So you can see now it had given you timeout, and you can see test timeout of 30 seconds exceeded, and total time it took 30 seconds. So to download any large file, you need to increase your skip timeout. And to increase skip timeout, you can go to your Playwright config file, and here you can add one key timeout. Maybe you can add 60 seconds. Use comma. So now if you run this test again, this time it should wait for maximum 60 seconds, and file should be downloaded within 60 seconds as well. If not, then again it will give you a skip timeout error. So let's go to VS Code, and you can see it is waiting for file to be downloaded. And now you can see file download is done. So it took 31.7 seconds, which is obviously more than 30 seconds. And this time it did not give you timeout error because I have set the timeout as 60 seconds. And if you go to this download folder, you can see the file as well. So that's all in this video. If you have any doubt, please comment on this video. If you really like my videos, please like, comment, subscribe, and share with others. Thank you, everyone.